What's up YouTube? I am GMaster6 and welcome to another episode of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Replay series. Today I got some great replays for you guys. I'm probably going to butcher this name, Gertjann. Is that right? Vanhout? I don't really know how to pronounce it. I do apologize. But I have his deck profile. I saw it on Lithium 2300's channel. If you don't know who that is, definitely check it out. I'll put a link in the description because he is a great duelist and has amazing content. But saw the deck on his channel and quickly fell in love with it. And as you can see, it's a very, or as you will see, it's a very vicious deck. So we're gonna jump in here and check out some replays of this Monarch deck. As you guys can see, I have a lot of replays for you guys coming up. ABC will probably be the next one. That's a really fun deck. Yeah, so let's check out some of these replays. So for this first one, okay, we're playing Mermail, Atlantean, whatever you want to call it. And he opens, which is kind of good for me. With this deck, you do want to go second because you have such explosive plays. He's going to go ahead and try and use his cards, especially on Abystias. So I figure Maxi is the best play here. It'll either shut him down for the rest of the turn, like he can't special summon anymore, which is what happens, or he'll let me draw a lot. So he ends his turn, doesn't want to give me free cards, so I can snap. I go ahead and go Pantheism, get 2 draws, then remove Pantheism to get a search. I'm actually going to pause this for just a second, if I can. Is it not going to let me pause it? There we are. Okay. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and let this play go through. But basically what happened is I'm using all of my cards to get searches. So Return's going to search me Aether, which is very important. I can send his guy back into his deck while sending 2 cards to my grave, and thanks to Idea, I get Pantheism back. I could have played Pantheism, but I figured it would be better to set all of these. Twin Twister stops any potential Abyss Sphere plays or Cestus or any of those cards, and then combination of original Monarch and Monarch Stormfort will allow me to summon Aether on his turn and disrupt his play. So he's going to go ahead and try and get as many cards as he can. Here's the Cetus, and on Diva I knew he could bring his Prince back, so it didn't really matter what I did, but he goes ahead and goes for the Marksman here, so I chain it, and now I'm able to tribute any of his guys for my Aether, so I'm just waiting for him to go ahead and extend, utilize all of his resources. Then I'm just going to use one of his monsters as he tries to go into the battle phase. As a result, Aether will trigger and Return will trigger, so I'll get another card. And I can special Karaz, and Karaz can destroy one of his guys, or I can destroy 2 of my cards to draw. Since he actually can't get over any of my guys, I figure I might as well draw the cards, and then I draw another card off of the original Monarch. So, since none of my guys are special summoned, this may have been a misplay clicking Honor Art because none of my guys were special summoned. But I'm gonna go into Idea. He vanities it. It's fine. I can still continue very easily. We go ahead and get rid of the vanities, and I can negate his Monarch's effect with Felgrand, so go ahead and attack that, leaving him with just 3 cards. And I do have the face down Stormforth, so I can summon Aether again. So that's kind of how this deck plays. You allow your opponent to extend, and then use their guys to tribute, and just capitalize by getting out Courage. You've got the Max Siege, you've got all these different cards to gain resources on your opponent's turn. He's going to go ahead and try and destroy Felgrand, but of course I can target myself to protect it. So he goes into Rebellion Dragon, figuring you can't stop him from destroying me now. But I do have the Stormforth, so I can tribute for Aether. Go ahead and, since I tributed Idea, get my Pantheism back. Use Aether's effect to special summon Thestalos, and use my original Monarch to just get another draw, since I figured he's ending his turn here. And as you can see, the just resource overload each one of my turns. Each one of his turns, I'm drawing a ridiculous amount of cards. I misplayed at this point. I played Dominion and didn't even use his effect to make my guy level 6, so I still had to tribute one of my guys. Had I just made my monster level 6 and tributed his guy, it would have been game right there. But it doesn't even matter because I just have so much advantage. It doesn't even matter. So he's going to try and do a little something. He summons Abystias, gets out Dragoons, has another Diva to get another Prince. And he can do the shenanigans one more time. Brings out Leo, but unfortunately for him, I can get Aether back. And when I summon Aether, I can bring out Karaz and blast that thing so that it is not a threat to me. Oh, I actually go ahead and destroy Bistius. Because, oh, that's right, this card cannot be targeted until main phase 2, so that was another misplay on my part. But again, it doesn't matter because I just have so much more advantage than my opponent. And at this point, I do draw the Stormforth, which gets me out of this foolishness, and that is the game. So a bit longer, even though it was only 8 turns, it was long because my turns were kind of long. So that's that one. Second replay here, we are playing against Psyframe. I remember this game. My opponent, if this is the right game I'm thinking about, my opponent just kind of bricked, to be honest with you, but it does showcase what this deck can do. So I go idea into Eidos, get my second summon into Erebus, get rid of a card in his hand, draw 2 with Pantheism, then search for with Tenacity to get my Monarch Stormforth, so my Aether is live. He goes ahead and MSTs, it doesn't matter. The Stormforth doesn't target or anything, so I can still play it, but he didn't use any monsters, so it's all good. I do top deck the Twin Twister, which was kind of nasty there. And thanks to Eidos, I can special summon Idea, use Idea's effect to special summon Eidos, tribute them both for Aether, and I can get one of my cards back. I actually choose to tribute Idea and the original Monarch so I can get my Tenacity back, since I couldn't use Pantheism because I didn't have a Monarch spell card in my hand. So I go ahead and do that, get my Karaz out. Karaz will destroy those 2 so I can draw. And then I'll go ahead and use Tenacity, or do I not use Tenacity? I might not. I don't see why I wouldn't though, but okay, yeah, I do use Tenacity. I was gonna say, I don't see why I wouldn't. And I get the Dominion for next turn, since I do have the Stormforth if he summons a monster, and if he doesn't, then I'm good anyway. He chooses not to, he just sets 1 and ends his turn. So I figure I might as well capitalize, play on my opponent's turn, summon Aether, get a summon into Karaz, which will give me 2 cards. Or actually, yeah, I do destroy his back row so that he has 1 less resource to stop me. And at this point, the game is basically over. As he's able to trigger his trap card in the graveyard, and I do make a misplay here because he does have 2 cards. I shouldn't have played Dominion. What I was going to do was go ahead and summon Erebus to win the game, but as you can see, I could have just special summoned Idea and summoned Erebus that way instead of activating my spell card. So by activating my spell card, I do give him 2 monsters, and so I'm gonna have to get through those, and I can't finish the game right here. But you know, still learning, still figuring out how to play this deck. So I put Aether back in my hand just because having Aether is very important on your opponent's turn. Makes it so that they kind of, well, it's not that they can't do anything, but you're able to disrupt their plays with Aether and Karaz and Stormforth. So anyway, here he top decked nothing, so I'm able to attack for game. Could have done that last turn, like I said, if I didn't use the Dominion, but it is what it is. And that's something, you know, if you are playing against Psyframes, you know, they do have cards that negate spells, so you want to think about those type of things late game. Anyway, same opening here, Idea into Eidos, tribute for Erebus, get rid of a card in his hand, set my graveyard up with the Pantheism and the original Monarch, best 2 to send, search for the Tenacity so I can get 1 more card. And in this case, I go ahead and draw 2 because I've already tributed for the turn, so return won't help me until next turn, so I figure I might as well go ahead and draw. He E-calls, gets his Blaze Man searches Poly, goes ahead and summons Absolute Zero here and ends his turn. And I don't really feel like that's the strongest play just because Monarchs do have so much burst. But you know, I guess he had no other play. I just don't feel like extending those resources there was the best, because even though Absolute Zero can destroy Erebus, it's weaker, so he had no chance of actually, what do I want to say? He had no aggressive push, he had no offense. He was just setting it up to destroy Erebus. But, you know, I could see it, so I could see it was going to destroy him, so I could make the proper play. Anyway, I go into Thessalos here to look at his hand and get rid of whatever could potentially threaten me. And, of course, I choose Blackluster Soldier, since it's obviously the best card in his hand. At this point, he doesn't really have too many options. He just sets the Solemn, so I go ahead and play Aether. Use the original Monarch to get a summon. Didn't really need to do that, but I felt like it was the better play at the time. Able to get rid of his Solemn on his turn so he can't trigger it. And at this point, I can return right for the Monarch Stormforth so I can tribute his monster and not even have to worry about anything attacking. Now, I do make a slight misplay here. The reason I summoned my other original Monarch was so that I could exceed into Pleiades. But then I activated Eidos effect, and Eidos won't let you go into your extra deck if you use his effect to special summon Idea. So again, could have ended the game, wasn't able to because of a misplay. So that's what happens when you're testing decks and playing around with some stuff. But as you guys can see, even when I misplay, it doesn't matter just because of the pure advantage I had. So I knew Mirror Force was an option. I could have gone Felgrand, but I figured if he Torrentials, it would be the same thing. So I guess not, because Felgrand could have negated it. So just poor play on my part toward the end of this game. Again, doesn't matter because of the position I'm in, but just poor playing. So in any case, nothing can stop me at this point. I can exceed here and finish the game, but like I said, poor playing on my part. That's what happens when you're getting better with the deck. But Volcasaur is able to finish that one off, and we're going to jump to another one. I think I have 5 replays. Sorry if this is kind of long. This was a good game, though, against the Cyber Dragons. Starting off kind of the same way. You kind of want to Pantheism a original Monarch when you can. Get the search off, Pantheism again. I don't feel like I need Dominion here. Go ahead and summon Karaz because my hand is pretty bad. So this way I'm able to draw a card and search for Aether, who I need to summon on his turn. Now, I didn't get rid of Karaz because I need a level 6 tribute summoned monster to use Aether. Excuse me. So that's why I did that. Now he's going to go ahead and destroy Karaz so that I can't use my Aether. So I bring back original Monarch just in case, but he doesn't make any other plays, so I figure there's no reason to tribute his guy yet. He's going to use Cyber Network. I don't care. It doesn't really matter that he banished this guy because I'm going to tribute it, so it's not actually destroying it. So I tribute it here, go for Aether, get out another Aether so it can go back to my hand for his turn. Hit him for 56, just pure power. I could exceed here, but because I do have another Stormforth, I feel like the stronger play is saving Aether and Stormforth. That way, if he summons a guy, again, I can disrupt his plays. So he goes ahead and summons that, which will give him the opportunity to go into Nova if I don't stop it. So as you see, I do summon the original Monarch, and once he goes into Nova, that's when I go ahead and tribute. He discards the Cyber Dragon. I don't know if this was a misclick because he powers himself up. I think he wanted to special summon the other Cyber Dragon, but as you can see, it wouldn't have really mattered because he had no way of getting rid of this, so he couldn't use the special summons. Power Bond wouldn't help him with only one Cyber Dragon. Cyber Repair Plant would be good, but adding a guy to his hand wouldn't help him either, as he already used the summon. And Cybernetic Zone, I think this only works, yeah, it only works with fusion monsters, so that wouldn't work either. So that is that one. And lastly, we've got this game. This is against Beast Deck. I don't remember this game at all, actually. But as you can see, he searches for Shiba Warrior Taro, sets it, so I know what his monster is. Go ahead and use Tenacity, grab Pantheism, get a search. Able to special summon Red Layer, which gives me a tribute, and then banish that for my original Monarch. Now I think here I was going to exceed, but again I forgot that if I use Eidos effect, I can't exceed, so that's why I use so many resources to get so many monsters out. I don't attack because I know it's what the monster is, so I figure there's no point in attacking. That's why I used Thessalos. I was able to look at his hand, that way I can confirm what it is. So he goes ahead and synchros here into Coral Dragon. Fortunately, I do have Aether, which will allow me to get a Karaz out and destroy his guy so that he can't synchro. And he just scoops. I didn't even remember that, but he just scoops. I don't think it was necessary to scoop there. The game wasn't necessarily over. I guess he figured if I destroy his tuner, he has literally no other play, so he just gave it up. But that was that when the boy got bodied. And actually, since that was kind of quick, I do have this other one. This just showed off. Again, this guy, I absolutely remember this game. He bricked so hard. As you see, he will literally draw nothing. But this game, it just shows the pure advantage. Watch this. So he's going to play Maxi, which is completely irrelevant. I don't know why these people play Maxi on the first card in a when they see Monarch. Like, why would you Maxi when I Pantheism? That does nothing. When I summon Idea, sure, but when I Pantheism, so as you can see, he draws this guy, who isn't necessarily the best card anyway, but it doesn't help him in this situation. So I just draw a card on his turn, and then now that I'm not under max C, I go ahead and summon both my little guys so I contribute, go Erebus, get rid of a card in his hand, along with get my Pantheism back into my hand. And I believe I attack for 28, no reason not to. Oh right, Search Tenacity. Tenacity gets me a search as well. Stormforth is good because I have Aether in my hand. And go ahead and attack for 28. This way, if he does play a monster, I can disrupt it. If he doesn't play any monsters, I can still use Erebus to summon Aether, so I'm fine. As you can see, he draws absolutely nothing. But just look, the pure advantage. This is my second turn, right? And I have 11 cards. That's crazy. In 2 turns, I've gone +5 at least. So as you can see, I mean, I've gone through 16 cards in my deck. That's crazy. In 2 turns, that's crazy. So that's this deck. So let me show you guys the deck list very quickly, because I know you guys like the deck list. That is the ABC deck, which you guys will see at some point. But this is the Monarch deck. 3 Erebus. Erebus is just so good in the beginning of the game. I definitely think Aether, I don't want to say Aether's better. I think Aether has better utility because you can use it on your opponent's turn, as well as because it advances your resources by bringing out one of your monsters, returning it to your hand to allow you to use it again. But Erebus in the beginning of the game, just forcing your opponent to go -1 while putting an original Monarch and a Pantheism in your graveyard is just so good. It's just so good. So 3 Erebus, 1 Thessalos. You don't need more than one of him. Because you can search it with Aether, you can search it with Return. Like, you have ways to get to him, and his utility isn't as high as Erebus or Aether, but he's good because he lets you see your opponent's hand, which is always an amazing thing. So one of him, 3 Aether. She, in my opinion, runs the deck. She lets you get Karaz out. She lets you set up an Exceed if you want to, if you haven't used Eidos that turn. She disrupts your opponent's plays on their turn. I mean, there's just so much utility in Aether. So she's definitely my favorite Monarch, at least in this deck. 3 Karaz. He lets you draw. He gets rid of Return for you so that you can Exceed. He's pretty important. He stuns your opponent on their turn. You can destroy their cards to disrupt their plays. So Karaz is very good. 3 Red Layer. Not really sure that you necessarily need 3 Red Layer. I feel like it probably could be Cyber Dragon or something like that, but well, I think, let me see, yeah, if you control no monsters, yeah, so that's why it's Red Layer rather than Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon, you need your opponent to have monsters. Red Layer, you don't. So I guess Red Layer is the best choice here, but basically the only reason is because it's level 5, so you can Exceed with your trap card and it's tribute. Only 2 Eidos. I absolutely agree with this. You don't need 3. 3 is just, you don't need to draw him ever, because you special summon him with Idea. So when you do draw him, it's kind of annoying. 2 Max C, very important, especially because you do want to go second. So if your opponent tries to snap on their first turn and you're holding that Max C, you just throw that thing down and say, let me get some free cards, bro. And it's very important. You got 3 Idea. Idea special summons Eidos, lets you summon, pretty good there. Pantheism, obviously one of the best draw cards in the game, in my opinion. And it's just so good, just because you draw 2 cards for essentially nothing, because you send a spell or trap to the graveyard, which generally helps you, especially if you send original Monarch, and then you search for a Monarch spell or trap card. So that's why you actually don't lose anything. It's crazy. I can't even. Reinforcement of the army, searches out Idea, very important. Tenacity, self-explanatory. Ooh, got rid of my Foolish by mistake. Foolish is really good though, because you can send Idea or Eidos, and of course Eidos effect works in the graveyard. Idea, if you have an Eidos in the graveyard but don't have Idea, you can do that. And you can also send Erebus, because Erebus allows you to trigger in the graveyard and put one of your other Monarchs back in your hand, or the Erebus. So if you have literally no other play, you can do that, get your Erebus or your Aether back, and you know, it helps. So I do like the Foolish in here. 2 Twin Twister, kind of important in the Pendulum era. Stormforth is the MVP with Aether. Return lets you search, obvious. Only 1 Dominion, because obviously you run an extra deck, so it's not in here to stun your opponent. It's just in here to reduce the level of your Aether and your Erebus, so that you can, and your Thessalos, so that you can summon them easier. And then 3 the original Monarch. Kind of self-explanatory. It makes, you know, the Exceeds and gives you a tribute, lets you draw, kind of does everything, right? For the extra deck, well, let me start over here, I guess. You got F-Zero. I mean, he's kind of a staple in any extra deck that uses Exceeds. Shark Fortress gives you OTKs. Durandal lets you stun your opponent. Volcasaurus could actually give you the game many times. Kind of important with Volcasaurus, this monster can attack the turn it uses its ability. It can't attack your opponent directly, right? This card cannot attack your opponent directly, but it can still attack. So remember that when you're using Volcasaurus. Pleiades, probably the best, in my opinion, one of the best rank 5 Exceed monsters. Adreas, however you say her name, you know, she's okay. I would always make Volcasaurus or Pleiades before her, but you know, if you have another option. Zenmail is a really good card. Beatrice, that's why Dante's in here, because you can make her with 2 Karas. Gaia Dragon, important. Gimmick Puppet lets you destroy other Exceeds, which is kind of cool, so he's in here. This guy can win you the game, because, you know, attacking directly is fun. Wait, is this guy that lets you, when this card inflicts bad damage, you can target one face over? Oh, that's right, he negates stuff. Never mind, he's not the direct attacker. He's still good, though. Not as good as Felgrand, in my opinion. Felgrand definitely will win you the game. And then these two are kind of just in here for... They're situational. They have their moments where they can shine, but for the most part, you're going to be making Felgrand or this guy with your rank 8 Exceeds. And then, like I said, Dante, just because you run Beatrice. So yeah, that is the deck. Feel free to use it. You know, play with it. Like I said, is this is how you spell his name, Gertjann Van Hoot. So there's an E at the end of that. So like I said, this is his Monarch deck. I will leave a link in the description so that you can check out Lithium's channel and see the actual interview that he did with the guy. And like I said, if you like the deck, definitely play with it. Let me know what you changed. Let me know what you like, don't like, all of that. And yeah, we'll get some deck building going on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below because your support is greatly appreciated. And if you didn't enjoy it, leave a dislike. Let me know what you didn't enjoy about it so I can improve. I'm GMaster6, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.